In the world of combat sports, there are few names that stir up as much excitement and debate as Conor McGregor and Mike Tyson. Two titans, both champions in their own right, each with a legacy that transcends the ring. But what if, for one night, these legends collided in the most electrifying, high-stakes battle the world has ever seen? Picture this: the brash, unpredictable Irishman, known for his knockout power and razor-sharp wit, facing off against the ferocious, ironclad fists of Iron Mike Tyson, a boxer whose name alone sends shivers down the spine of every fighter. What happens when these two meet in a fight where there are no rules, no boundaries, just sheer willpower and raw strength? Conor McGregor, the self-proclaimed notorious, has built a career on shattering expectations. From his rise in the UFC to becoming one of the most polarizing figures in sports history, McGregor's ability to talk his way into legendary battles is matched only by his skill to back it up in the octagon. But while his footwork, precision, and striking game have earned him a place among the greats, his fighting style is a world apart from Tyson's. McGregor's game is all about psychological warfare and precision timing, coupled with his trademark left hand that has sent some of the toughest men in the world to the canvas. Then there's Mike Tyson, a man whose reputation in boxing is practically legendary. At his peak, Tyson was a force of nature, unstoppable, unpredictable, and capable of turning the lights out on his opponent in a blink of an eye. With the heart of a lion and the ferocity of a beast, Tyson's fights were a spectacle, filled with pure, raw power and devastating combinations that made even the toughest fighters hesitate. His power punches are among the most feared in combat sports history. And when Tyson stepped into the ring, it wasn't just a fight, it was a countdown to destruction. But this clash isn't just about raw physical power. It's a clash of two worlds, two different combat sports that rely on entirely different techniques, strategies, and mentalities. On one hand, you have the precision and calculated moves of mixed martial arts, where grappling, striking, and ground game all play pivotal roles. On the other, you have the brutal, relentless power of boxing, where every punch could be the last one your opponent ever takes. Imagine the fight playing out: McGregor with his unorthodox stances, darting in and out of Tyson's range, trying to outmaneuver the power of the ex-heavyweight champ. Tyson, on the other hand, would be looking for his opening, waiting to unleash those devastating hooks that have put the fear of God into so many. As the tension builds, the fight begins to take shape. McGregor, known for his ability to read his opponents and control the flow of the match, attempts to keep his distance, using his lightning-fast footwork to avoid the devastating hooks Tyson is known for. But Tyson isn't the kind of fighter who needs much of an opening once he gets inside. It's a different story entirely. As the rounds tick by, each fighter begins to dig deeper into their reserves of strength, skill, and mental fortitude. For McGregor, it's about controlling the pace, luring Tyson into the exchanges that favor him, and landing that signature left hand. For Tyson, it's about staying patient, cutting off the ring, and waiting for that one moment when he can land a blow that could end it all. The crowd is on edge, every second, drawing them closer to the inevitable showdown. The two men circle each other, neither willing to make the first mistake. You can almost feel the tension in the air, the electric buzz that fills the arena. McGregor's eyes are locked on Tyson, his body tense, prepared for anything. Tyson, ever the predator, stalks his prey, waiting for the right moment to pounce. The noise in the stadium grows louder as the seconds tick by. Then, out of nowhere, McGregor darts forward, throwing a flurry of punches that seem to hit nothing but air. Tyson, ever patient, takes a step back and counter-punches, his left hook landing with the force of a freight train. The crowd gasps as McGregor staggers, his body rocking from the blow. Is this the moment Tyson's power takes over, or will McGregor's resilience and lightning-fast reflexes turn the tide. With both men now visibly shaken, the question lingers: can McGregor avoid the storm of Tyson's punches long enough to land that one perfect strike, or will Tyson's power prove to be too much for the Irishman to handle? The fight is far from over, but every second that passes seems to bring them closer to a final decisive moment. And that, my friends, is where we leave you on the edge of your seat, wondering what happens next. Will McGregor rise to the challenge, or will Tyson's power prove to be an insurmountable force? As the crowd buzzes with anticipation, the tension between Conor McGregor and Mike Tyson continues to build. The clock ticks, the seconds slipping away as both men regain their footing. McGregor, known for his mental toughness and ability to bounce back from adversity, takes a deep breath. His eyes narrow, scanning Tyson's every movement, each one a potential opening or trap. He's been here before, backed into a corner, counted out, but never willing to give up. His past, filled with moments of glory and bitter defeat, has shaped him into a man who thrives under pressure. This fight, this moment, is no different. For McGregor, it's more than just a battle of physical prowess, it's about pride. The Notorious is a master of mind games, constantly manipulating his opponents with taunts, insults, and the weight of his words. But Tyson isn't the type of fighter who can be broken by words. He's been through hell and back in his career, battling personal demons and facing some of the toughest men in the world. He's a fighter forged in the fire, his reputation built on the power of his fists and his unrelenting nature. In Tyson's corner, there's an air of quiet confidence. The team knows that while McGregor is fast and unpredictable, Tyson's power is a force of nature that can turn the tide in an instant. As Tyson shifts his weight, preparing for the next round, his mind drifts back to his early days in boxing, how he rose through the ranks, how every opponent he faced was a stepping stone on his path to greatness. He remembers the thrill of the fight, the raw emotion that came with each victory. But now, facing McGregor, it's different. This isn't just another boxer in the ring. This is a man who has defied expectations at every turn, someone who thrives in the chaos of combat. Tyson can't help but respect that. But deep down, he knows that this battle will be like no other. McGregor's corner is alive with energy, but there's a sense of urgency in the air. His coaches bark instructions, urging him to keep his distance, to be patient. They know that Tyson is dangerous in close quarters, and while McGregor's striking is deadly, he's got to outthink Tyson, outmaneuver him. McGregor himself is locked in a mental chess match. He knows that his best chance lies in his ability to land that one shot, the punch that can change the course of the fight. But as the rounds progress, that becomes harder and harder to do. Tyson's presence in the ring is almost overwhelming, his movements calculated and lethal. Every step he takes, every punch he throws, is a reminder of why he is one of the most feared fighters in the world. The arena is deafening as the bell rings for the next round. McGregor lunges forward, throwing jabs and kicks, trying to find a way in. Tyson, his eyes focused and calm, absorbs the strikes, his head movement sharp as ever. McGregor's attacks are precise, but Tyson's defense is flawless. He's been through wars, faced giants, and this is just another day at the office. But then, a shift. Tyson steps forward, cutting off McGregor's movement, closing the distance between them. McGregor tries to backpedal, but Tyson is too quick, too relentless. He throws a combination of punches, his fists crashing into McGregor's guard with thunderous impact. McGregor grits his teeth, feeling the power of Tyson's blows reverberating through his body. The crowd reacts with a collective gasp. Will McGregor survive this onslaught, or is Tyson about to take control? In the stands, the fans are divided. On one side, the loyal supporters of McGregor chant his name, hoping for a miracle. On the other, the Tyson faithful watch with bated breath, knowing that any second now, they might witness the knockout of a lifetime. But there's more to this fight than meets the eye. The question everyone is asking is not just who will win, but how these two men, whose careers have been defined by their ability to overcome adversity, will push each other to the limits. From the outside looking in, it might seem like a simple contest of power versus precision, but this battle is more about the will to survive than anything else. McGregor's mind is a labyrinth of thoughts, 1,000 possible strategies racing through his head. He's not just fighting Tyson, he's fighting the ghosts of his past, the pressure of being a global icon, the weight of expectation. Every punch he throws is a statement. Every move, a testament to the hours he spent in the gym, perfecting his craft. Tyson, on the other hand, isn't just fighting for victory, he's fighting to prove something to himself. To remind the world that the man who once dominated the boxing world still has the fire burning inside him. His body, though older, still holds the strength that made him a legend. And yet, there's a quiet uncertainty in his mind. McGregor is unpredictable, and despite all his experience, Tyson knows that he's in a battle unlike any he's faced before. This isn't just about punches and power, it's about outwitting each other, outlasting each other, and seeing who breaks first. As the rounds continue, the fight becomes more intense. McGregor begins to land more strikes, his footwork keeping Tyson at bay just enough to land a few clean jabs. But Tyson isn't backing down. Each punch he throws seems to have a purpose, and as the rounds wear on, it's clear that the fight is beginning to take a toll on both men. McGregor's movements start to slow, his energy beginning to drain as Tyson's relentless pressure wears him down. But McGregor's heart is still in it. He won't go down easily. And every time Tyson looks like he's about to close in for the kill, McGregor finds a way to slip away, to keep the fight going just a little bit longer. The tension in the arena is almost unbearable. The clock ticks, the minutes pass, and the fight rages on. Each man, battered and bruised, is beginning to show the signs of wear, but neither is willing to give an inch. It's a war of attrition, and the end is nowhere in sight. But then, as Tyson presses forward, something changes. A shift in McGregor's demeanor, a flicker of desperation in his eyes. Could it be? Could he have found his opening? The crowd holds its breath, the atmosphere thick with suspense. What happens next could change everything. Will McGregor's strategy finally pay off, or has Tyson's dominance simply been too much? The battle rages on, and with every passing second, the question lingers, who will emerge victorious in this unimaginable clash between two of the greatest fighters the world has ever seen? The atmosphere inside the arena feels like it could crack open at any moment. The crowd is caught between the chaos unfolding in the ring and the sheer tension that grips them. McGregor, though battered, is beginning to find his rhythm again. His left hand, once a symbol of destruction, is now a finely tuned weapon, his timing sharpening with every strike. Tyson, ever relentless, absorbs the punishment, but the toll is starting to show. His breathing is heavier now, his movements slightly slower than they were in the opening rounds. For the first time in this fight, there's a glimmer of doubt in his eyes, a momentary hesitation. McGregor sees it a crack in the armor. He circles Tyson, eyes fixed on his opponent's every move. The Irishman's mind is racing. This is it. This is the opening he's been waiting for. He feints to the left, drawing Tyson's guard in that direction, and then shoots forward with a lightning-fast jab. Tyson barely reacts in time, his head snapping back from the impact. McGregor's heart pounds in his chest. He's landed the cleanest shot of the fight, and he knows it. The crowd roars, a surge of energy that electrifies the arena. But Tyson's reaction is chilling. He doesn't flinch, doesn't back down. Instead, he grins, his lips curling into that trademark, almost manic smile. In that moment, McGregor realizes something. Tyson is enjoying this. The pain, the struggle, the entire battle. It's all part of Tyson's twisted, primal enjoyment. He thrives on the chaos, the destruction. McGregor may have found an opening, but Tyson's resolve is built on something deeper than just fighting. It's about dominance, about proving he can survive anything thrown his way. The realization hits McGregor like a freight train. For a brief moment, the fight seems to freeze in time. Tyson charges forward with the speed of a man half his age, closing the distance between them in an instant. McGregor barely has time to react. Tyson's left hook crashes into his side, the sound of the impact echoing through the stadium like thunder. McGregor's body twists in the air, his breath knocked out of him, and he stumbles. The room spins. The crowd goes wild, sensing that the end might be near. But McGregor, ever the fighter, digs deep. He forces himself back onto his feet, clenching his jaw in determination. But something is wrong. His vision is blurry, his legs unsteady. The pain in his ribs is intense, the type of pain that demands your full attention. Yet through it all, McGregor's eyes never leave Tyson. He's in trouble, there's no denying it. Tyson, sensing the opening, presses forward, landing another devastating combination that rocks McGregor to the core. The Notorious staggers again, but this time, his back is to the ropes. Tyson closes in, his fists swinging like sledgehammers. McGregor has nowhere to go. The end is looking inevitable. And then, just when it seems like Tyson is about to seal the deal, a sudden noise from the crowd breaks through the tension, a shrill metallic sound, followed by a shout from the announcer's booth. The atmosphere shifts in an instant, and the entire arena falls silent. Tyson freezes mid-punch, his eyes scanning the crowd. McGregor, sensing a strange shift, turns toward the commotion. A figure steps into the spotlight, a man dressed in black, moving with the purpose of a predator. The tension in the ring dissipates for just a second, but in that brief moment, Tyson's focus wavers, just enough for McGregor to regain his bearings. The man in black moves quickly, faster than anyone could have anticipated. He darts toward the ring, and before security can react, he leaps over the ropes, landing with an unsettling thud. The crowd gasps as the figure lands square in the center of the squared circle, his eyes locked on McGregor and Tyson. The newcomer's presence seems to throw both fighters off balance. Tyson, still in the moment of his power, stares at the figure with an expression that could almost be described as confusion. McGregor, still recovering from the assault, doesn't take his eyes off the intruder. The arena is dead silent, as if the world itself has stopped spinning. This wasn't part of the plan, not for either of them. The figure in black doesn't speak, doesn't make a single movement toward either fighter. He simply stands there, watching them both, his face hidden in shadow. The crowd begins to murmur, their anticipation replaced by unease. Tyson steps forward, his eyes narrowing, his fists still raised. He's a man who's never backed down from a challenge. And if this mysterious figure wants to make a statement, Tyson's ready to answer. But then, before anyone can react, the figure gestures almost imperceptibly, and a surge of security personnel rushes toward the ring, surrounding it like an impenetrable wall. The figure, still silent, steps back slightly, waiting for the storm to pass. McGregor and Tyson exchange a glance, both men trying to understand what's going on. The tension in the air has shifted yet again. This fight was no longer just between them. There's an unknown element at play now, something that neither of them could have anticipated. Who is this figure? Why is he here? And what does he want? As the security clears the area, the man in black vanishes as quickly as he appeared, slipping into the shadows, leaving behind only questions and the lingering sense of unease. The crowd is still murmuring, the energy in the arena changed forever. But McGregor and Tyson don't have time to dwell on the mystery. They both know that the fight is far from over. It's just taken a turn neither could have predicted. The bell rings again, and both men lock eyes, knowing that whatever happens next, the stakes are higher than ever. The presence of the mysterious figure has added a layer of danger and unpredictability to an already brutal contest. Neither McGregor nor Tyson can afford to lose focus now. The fight, once about personal pride and glory, has transformed into something far more complicated, with forces beyond their control pulling the strings. And now, as they step back into the chaos, the question on everyone's mind is this: what's next? Who is the figure in black, and how will his sudden appearance change the outcome of this unimaginable showdown? The fight has only just begun, and the true test of their strength and willpower is still ahead. As the bell rings once more, the air in the arena is thick with uncertainty. The appearance of the mysterious figure has shaken both fighters to their core, but there's no time to dwell on it now. The crowd's excitement has shifted from anticipation to nervous energy. McGregor and Tyson exchange looks, each silently acknowledging that whatever the new dynamic is, it's not going to stop them. They're both fighters at their core. This is what they do. Tyson, still unsure of what just happened, moves first, his instinct for battle pushing him forward. McGregor, despite the lingering confusion, has found a spark within himself. The weariness in his body is undeniable, but his mind is clear now, sharpened by the unexpected distraction. He sees Tyson's attack coming a split second too late. Tyson lands a crushing jab to McGregor's stomach, sending a shockwave through his body. McGregor stumbles backward, gasping for air. It's the kind of blow that could end most fights, but McGregor is far from ordinary. With all the strength he can muster, McGregor steadies himself, pushing through the pain. He circles Tyson, trying to buy time, his mind racing as he looks for an opening. That opening comes in a split second. Tyson, sensing victory, moves in for another crushing combination. But this time, McGregor doesn't wait. He steps forward, his left hand shooting out with perfect precision, landing square on Tyson's jaw. The sound of the punch reverberates throughout the stadium. Tyson stumbles, a brief moment of disorientation flashing across his face before he regains his balance. But it's too late. The punch was too clean, too powerful. Tyson's knees buckle, and he crashes to the mat. The crowd erupts into a deafening roar, disbelief hanging in the air as they witness one of the most shocking knockouts in combat sports history. McGregor stands there, chest heaving, his eyes wide in disbelief at what he's just done. His body is sore, battered, but the victory is his. Yet, even as McGregor's coaches rush into the ring, celebrating the win, something doesn't sit right. The man in black, the one who had disrupted the fight earlier, has returned, his figure now standing in the doorway of the arena. His eyes are locked on McGregor, and for a moment, the champion feels the weight of that gaze sharp, unwavering, almost predatory. The tension in the air shifts once again. Before McGregor can react, the figure steps forward, and the room falls silent. The security that had surrounded the ring earlier now seems irrelevant. McGregor's focus narrows on the man's every movement. Tyson, who had been knocked down but is now slowly regaining his footing, watches too, a look of confusion crossing his face. The man in black doesn't speak immediately. He simply raises a hand, signaling to both fighters to stay still. In that moment, it becomes clear this isn't about them anymore. This is something bigger. The figure finally breaks the silence, his voice deep and calm, carrying an authority that silences even the crowd. "The fight isn't over, gentlemen," he says, his words dripping with an ominous weight. The real challenge has just begun. McGregor's heart races. He thought he had won. Tyson, though battered, looks more intrigued than anything else. But the figure isn't finished. He steps closer to McGregor, his eyes never leaving him. "You've proven your worth, McGregor," he continues. "But that wasn't your true test. You'll understand soon enough." Before either fighter can respond, the man in black steps back, fading into the shadows. The atmosphere in the arena has shifted completely. What had started as a simple clash between two of the greatest fighters in history now feels like the first chapter in a far more complex story, one that neither McGregor nor Tyson fully understands. As McGregor stands in the ring, his victory hanging in the air, he feels a chill run down his spine. What was all of this for? Who is the man in black? Why did he intervene? Tyson, too, is left with unanswered questions. His pride is bruised, but something about this encounter has stirred something deeper within him, something he can't quite name. As the lights in the arena flicker, the audience begins to file out, the fight they just witnessed already fading into the past. But the mystery that surrounds the fight, the figure, and the words he spoke lingers. McGregor and Tyson, though victorious and respected in their own right, are no longer the center of attention. Their conflict was merely a stepping stone in a much larger game, one that neither of them could have predicted. For McGregor, the victory feels hollow. He had overcome Tyson, but now there's a new question in his mind. What's next? And who or what had been watching him all along? For Tyson, the loss is painful, but his curiosity is piqued. The fight he thought was his final test was nothing more than a warm-up. As the lights go out, the final twist reveals itself. The mysterious figure watches from a dark corner, his figure barely visible, but his gaze as sharp as ever. "Soon," he mutters under his breath, "soon you'll both understand." And with that, the screen fades to black. The story is over, but the questions remain. The true challenge has only just begun, and the stakes are higher than either fighter could ever imagine. The audience is left with one haunting thought: this fight, this night, wasn't just about two legends clashing. It was about something far more complex, far more dangerous. The real test is still ahead. And the final answer? It lies beyond the ring, in the shadow of the man in black.